Hello students, welcome to today's class. In the last class, we discussed about atmospheric pressure and the instruments used for measuring atmospheric pressure. So barometer is an instrument which is used for measuring the atmospheric pressure. Last class, we discussed about simple barometer and Fortin's barometer. In simple barometer and Fortin's barometer, we use mercury as the barometric liquid. So today we see about a barometer. Its name is aneroid barometer. So aneroid barometer is a barometer without a thermometric liquid. Let us see the details about aneroid barometer. So this is the diagram of a aneroid barometer. So what are the main parts of an aneroid barometer? So it consists of a metallic box. It consists of a metallic box named as B. So metallic box B, which is partially evacuated. The top of box is springy and is corrugated in form of a diaphragm. So you can see a diaphragm at the top of the box. At the middle of the diaphragm is marked by the letter D. At the middle of the diaphragm, there is a thin rod L. At the middle of the diaphragm, there is a thin rod L, toothed at its upper end. The teeth of rod fit well into the teeth of a wheel S attached with a pointer P, which can move over a circular scale. The circular scale is graduated and is initially calibrated with a standard barometer so as to read the atmospheric pressure directly in terms of the barometric height. Then how does it work? When the atmospheric pressure increases, it presses the diaphragm D and the rod L gets depressed. The wheel S rotates clockwise and pointer P moves to the right on the circular scale. On the other hand, when atmospheric pressure decreases, the diaphragm D bulges out, due to which the rod L moves up and the wheel S rotates in anti-clockwise direction and the pointer moves in a anti-clockwise direction. So this is the working of an aneroid barometer. Then what is the use of barometer? Barometer is used to measure the atmospheric pressure. It is also used for weather forecasting and also used as an altimeter to measure the height. Now we see how does atmospheric pressure vary with the altitude. As we go high, with the increase in altitude, the atmospheric pressure decreases. Atmospheric pressure decreases with the increase in height or with altitude. What is the reason? The reason is that with the increase of altitude, the height of the air column decreases. That is one of the reasons. And the other reason is that as we go high, the density of the air column decreases. Height of the air column decreases and density of air column decreases. Due to this, atmospheric pressure decreases with increase in height. The density, as we come near the Earth's surface, air molecules are closely packed, and as we go high, the air molecules are loosely packed. Due to this reason, the density decreases with increase in altitude. So atmospheric pressure decreases with increase in altitude. This is the reason as we go to high altitudes, like hilly places, there is chance of nose bleeding. The reason is that at hilly places, the altitude is more, so the atmospheric pressure is less. So atmospheric pressure outside it is less, and our blood pressure that remains same, and our blood pressure is much more than the outside atmospheric pressure. Due to this, the veins can burst and the bleeding can occur. Then the same case can happen in the case of fountain pen. If you put a fountain pen and go to hilly areas, there can be leakage of ink. Here also the reason is the same thing. Atmospheric pressure is less, but inside the pen the pressure is more. Due to that, there can be leakage. We use barometer for weather forecasting. By seeing the barometer reading, the weather can be forecasted. If the barometer reading suddenly falls, which shows that there is very much decrease in atmospheric pressure, that indicates the possibility of cyclone or storm. And if the barometric height gradually decreases, which indicates the possibility of rain, and if the barometric height gradually increases, which indicates the possibility of dry weather, and if the barometric height suddenly increases, that indicates the possibility of extremely dry weather. And if there is not much change in the barometric reading, the weather remains almost same. And the next topic is altimeter. So altimeter is a device which is used to measure the altitude. And the principle of altimeter is the atmospheric pressure decreases with increase in altitude. That is the principle of altimeter. Now we will do the numericals of this chapter. The important formulas needed for doing the numericals of this chapter are: pressure is equal to thrust upon area. When thrust and area are given, we can find pressure by the formula pressure equal to thrust upon area. And pressure of liquid column, that can be calculated by the formula H rho g. H stands for height of the liquid column, rho stands for density of the liquid, and g stands for acceleration due to gravity. Then formula of a hydraulic machine, that is F2 upon F1 is equal to A2 upon A1. F2 stands for the force which is produced on the larger cylinder. F1 is the force applied on the smaller cylinder. A2 is the area cross section of the larger cylinder, and A1 is the area cross section of the smaller cylinder. So these are the important formulas which we need for solving the numericals of this chapter. So first we do first question of the exercise. A hammer exerts a force of 1.5 Newton on each of the two nails A and B. The area cross section of tip of nail A is 2 mm square, while that of nail B is 6 mm square. Calculate the pressure on each nail in Pascal. So first we take the case of A. Nail A. So force exerted is 1.5 Newton. Force is 1.5 Newton, and area cross section is 2 mm square. So millimeter square we convert into meter square. 1 millimeter square is 10 to the power minus 6 meter square. 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter square. Then we write the formula of pressure. Pressure is equal to thrust upon area, and substituting 1.5 Newton upon 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter square. So it can be written like this: 1.5 into 10 to the power 6 upon 2 Pascal. So 1.5, so we can write it as 15 into 10 to the power 5 upon 2 Pascal. 15 upon 2 is a 7.5. 7.5 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. So this is the pressure exerted on nail A. Now we take the case of nail B. Case of nail B. The force is saying 1.5 Newton and the area is 6 millimeter square. 6 millimeter square. So which is equal to 6 into 10 to the power minus 6 meter square. Then we write the same formula. Pressure equal to thrust upon area. So that is 1.5 upon 6 into 10 to the power minus 6. It can be written like this: 1.5 into 10 to the power 6 upon 6. So we can write it as 1.5 into 10 to the power 6. We can write 15 into 10 to the power 5 upon 6. 15 upon 6 is 2.5. 2.5 into 10 to the power 5 Pascal. So this is the answer of first question. Now we do third question. A vessel contains water up to a height of 1.5 meter. Height is 1.5 meter. Taking the density of water as 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube. 1000 kilogram per meter cube. G is 9.8 meter per second square. G is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. In first part we have to find pressure. Writing the formula H rho G and substituting 1.5 into 10 to the power 3 means 1000 into 9.8. So that will come as 1.1470 Pascal. So 1.47 into 10 to the power 4 Pascal. 1.47 into 10 to the power 4 Pascal or 10 to the power 4 Newton per meter square. This is the pressure. Now second part. So we have to find the thrust. Area cross section of the base of the vessel is 100 centimeter square. Calculate the thrust at the base of vessel. So area cross section is given as 100 centimeter square. 100 centimeter square. That is equal to 100 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. 1 centimeter square is 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. So 100 centimeter square is 100 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. So now we have to find thrust. Thrust is equal to pressure into area. Substituting. So 14,700. That is 1.47 into 10 to the power 4 into 100 into 10 to the power minus 4. This much Newton. So that is equal to 147 Newton. So this pressure is 1.47 into 10 to the power 4 and area is 100 into 10 to the power minus 4. 10 to the power 4 into 10 to the power minus 4 is 10 to the power 0, which is equal to 1. 1.47 into 100 is 147. So thrust which is acting on the base is 147 Newton. Now doing question number 6. The pressure of water on the ground floor is 40,000 Pascal and on the first floor is 10,000 Pascal. Find the height of the first floor. On the ground floor it is a 40,000 Pascal and on the first floor it is 10,000 Pascal. Find the height of the first floor. Density is 1000 kilogram per meter cube. G is 10 meter per second square. So we use the formula P is equal to H rho G. That is P1 minus P2, which is equal to H rho G. Substituting 40,000 minus 10,000 equal to h into 1000 into 10. 40,000 minus 10,000, 30,000 equal to h into 10,000. Therefore, h is equal to 30,000 upon 10,000. So, which is equal to 3 meter. So, the height of the first floor is 3 meter. So, this is the answer. Now, we are doing question number 8. In a hydraulic machine, a force of 2 Newton is applied on the piston of area cross section 10 centimeter square. Smaller area cross section is 10 centimeter square. And the force which is applied on the smaller cylinder, that is 2 Newton. F1 is equal to 2 Newton. And the area cross section of the what force is obtained on its piston of area cross section 100 centimeter square. Area cross section is larger one, 100 centimeter square. Its force we don't know, that is F2, that we have to find out. Then we will use the formula of hydraulic machine. F2 by F1 is equal to A2 upon A1. Substitute. Here A1 is the area cross section of smaller one, and F1 is the force which is applied on the smaller piston. A2 is the area cross section of larger one, and F2 is the force which is produced on the larger piston. That we have to find out. So this is the main point which I have to remember. A1 is the area cross section of smaller one, F1 is the force on smaller one. A2 is the area cross section of the larger one, and F2 is the force which is produced on the larger one. Substituting the values. F2 we have to find out. Upon F1 2 Newton, which is equal to A2 100 centimeter square upon 10 centimeter square. 10 cross multiplying. F2 is equal to 10 into 2 Newton, which is equal to 20 Newton. So this is the answer. Now we are doing question number 10. The areas of the pistons in a hydraulic machine are 5 centimeter squared and 625 centimeter squared. A1 is the area cross section of smaller, that is 5 centimeter square, and A2 is the area cross section of the larger one, that is given as 625 centimeter square. What force on the smaller piston, that we have to find out. F1 we have to find out. It will support a load of 1250 Newton on the larger piston. Force on the larger one is given as 1250 Newton. So here F1 we have to find out. So A1 is the area cross section of the smaller one. F1 is the force on the smaller one. A2 is the area cross section of the larger one, and F2 is the force on the larger one. So here F1 is not given, that we have to find out. So we write the formula of hydraulic machine, that is F2 upon F1 is equal to A2 upon A1, and substituting. F2 is 1250 Newton. F1 we have to find out. A2 is 625 centimeter square, and A1 is 5 centimeter square. Centimeter square is cancelled. 5 and 625 we got 125. So F1 into 125, F1 into 125 is equal to 1250 Newton. So we get F1 is equal to 1250 Newton divided by 125, which is equal to 10 Newton. So force on the smaller piston, that is 10 Newton. So this is the answer. Question number 12. A force of 50 kgf is applied to smaller piston. So for smaller piston, force applied is 50 kgf. Neglecting the friction, find the force exerted on the larger piston. force on the larger piston we have to find out. Diameter of the pistons are 5 centimeter and 25 centimeter. Diameter of smaller one. The radius of smaller piston is, diameter is 5 centimeter. The radius is half of diameter. The radius of smaller piston, that is R1, that is equal to 5 upon 2, 2.5 centimeter. And radius of the larger one, diameter of the larger piston is 25 centimeter. So radius is its half, that is 25 upon 2, 12.5 centimeter. So this is the radius of larger one. We calculate area cross section by the formula pi r square. Area cross section is equal to pi r square. So that is A1 pi into R1 square, pi into 2.5 into 2.5. Then area cross section of the larger one A2 pi into R2 square. So that will come pi into 12.5 into 12.5. Now we use the formula hydraulic machine, that is F2 upon F1 is equal to A2 upon A1. And substituting F2 by F1, F1 is 50 kgf equal to A2 is pi into 12.5 into 12.5 and A1 is pi into 2.5 into 2.5. 2.5 into 5 is 12.5. 2.5 into 5 is 12.5 and pi are cut. So we get F2 is equal to 5 into 5, 25 into 50 kgf. 25 into 5, 125. 1250 kgf. So this is the answer. Now doing first question of exercise B. The question is convert 1 millimeter of mercury into Pascal. Height is 1 millimeter. Millimeter we convert into meter. 1 meter is 1000 millimeter or 1 millimeter is 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Density of mercury is 13.6 into 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube and G is 9.8 meter per second square. We use the formula of pressure P equal to H rho G and substituting 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Height is 10 to the power minus 3 meter into 13.6 into 10 to the power 3 into 9.8. 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 is 1, 10 to the power 0, which is equal to 1. 13.6 into 9.8, that is 133.28 Pascal. So this is the answer. So today we have seen aneroid barometer and uses of barometer. How a barometer is used in weather forecasting. And we have seen the important formulas used for solving the numericals of chapter 4, pressure in fluids and atmospheric pressure. You know the formula, just learn the formula and just substitute the values. You will get the answer. Next class we will discuss a new chapter.